Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Youth Intake Challenge. We're about 22 games into the season. We've got the Youth Intake preview. Let's see how we get on. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So probably first place to start is in the competitions, in which case we're sixth in the league, which isn't that bad. 39 points from 22 games, which is a fairly good return. Been fairly steady, one more than we've lost, so you can't really ask for much more than that. So we're doing well in the Vanarama National League. Harrogate were runaway leaders at the start of the league. They've faded off a little bit. They won a huge number of games right at the start of the season, and I thought we'd never catch them in a million years. We're probably still a bit too far away, 14 points, but if we can aim for the playoffs this season, that's much improved on where we were last season, where we just avoided relegation, so it can only be seen as a positive thing. FA Cup wise, we got knocked out in the first round by Stevenage. Wasn't much of a surprise. We are a good side, but I think they were just a bit too strong for us. And in the FA Trophy, we're still in the competition, of which we made the final last season. Got an away tie at Gloucester to look forward to, so things are going well on that front. Things to look in for then, really. So the youth intake. I mean, there's much over muchness for this, and let me know what you think, thoughts are in the comment section. But after last season, when this came in and said the players are garbage, but you've got an excellent intake, and then we got 9 elite talents, I don't really know what to think of this, other than maybe it tells you a rough idea of where them players are going to be. If we get 3 central midfielders, brilliant. Another striker to look at would be brilliant, and a centre half would be brilliant. Outside of that, not really anywhere that I think we're really screaming out for at this current time. And we're going to have to be a bit more picky as the intakes come through from now on due to the inflated squad size. That being said, onto the squad then. Quite an inflated first team squad. A lot of players who are in the 18-year-old bracket have been forced into the first squad because they're too old for the under 18s. Players to kind of maybe look at and take a peek at. James Cockings is one. So in terms of players who've made the most appearances, we'll look at England Fredericks. He's taken over from Chigozie as the first choice keeper. He's up to 2.5 stars. He's got a potential 4.5 stars. Developmentally, I mean, his stats look pretty good. Progress wise, he's on a big upwards curve, probably because he's playing game in, game out, and that can only be a good thing. And his stat change in all time, a fairly even spread. He's done a lot better in the physicals than anything else, but he's classed as a major improvement in all 3 sets of attributes: goalkeeping, mental and physical. So in terms of his goalkeeping, his aerial reach has been the most improved, and his throw-in. So England Fredericks, first name on the team sheet as far as I'm concerned in goals. He's put Chigozie well and truly out of the race. So yeah, we'll keep him and we'll move forward. James Cockings, he's come in last season and made himself an established first team left back. He's up to 3-star current ability. Again, developmentally, his development is 4.5 star yellows, so he's going to make it to that kind of potential threshold. In terms of his progress, again, I like to look at the all-time stats, and there's not a lot there really. He's not really made any difference whatsoever to the way he's played. He's been with us a while. He's playing well. He has been on an upwards curve, but I do sometimes wonder when we're looking at left backs, and it's probably worth doing a comparison, is when we look at the players that are coming through. I mean, Branthwaite's gone out on loan. I want to find... where is he? Horney. Gabriel Horney. He's probably going to be the long-term replacement for him. Currently, Cockings has got him hand down on the physical speed vision side. But in terms of the aerial threat, Horney's got him. Technical, he's a little bit better. Attacking, he's on a par. So I think as he develops, he might well overtake him. But it's good to have 2 really good left-backs in that position. And that's the left back kind of taken care of. Jake Gilder, who's been with us a long time, he's still doing really well. Lots of appearances. He's overcome the broken leg. He's on quite a high wage, but I think he still is the leader in terms of his development. So we'll just have a quick peek because I always find it quite interesting. He's pretty much flatlined. I don't think he's going to get too much better, but his attribute changes in all time. 9 in decisions, I think. He's not got any double figures yet. I was hoping he might have just crept into one, but again, his mental side of the game is fantastic, and again, one of the key players for the club. Then we've got Atienza and Carl Peterson. We've looked at Atienza lots of times. Peterson's probably one we need to concentrate on. he's playing week in, week out. He's only 18. He's our best deep player, but he's also one of our best creative players in the middle of the park as well. So I like to play him there. There's two combos of a midfield three I like, and I'll take you through them in a minute. But again, progress-wise, development since all time. Again, not so much in terms of the attributes in the technical phase. In fact, he's gone down, but his mental attributes have gone up massively. His physical have done well. And I think sometimes we're a bit impacted by the fact we're part-time, so we're not fully training. Skim over hams. Let's look at the players who kind of top rated, see if anyone's in there. We'll ignore Gannon as an outlier because he's only played one game. But Ruari Bellingham, he's playing first team right back. 15 appearances, 2 goals, average 7.28. He's not got a high potential threshold, but he's a performer week in, week out. He's not got particularly great stats for the role we've got him in, but he's doing a good job and his average rating's high. So again, the young Scottish right back will be in there for the time being. Other ones still going. We've seen Peterson's up there. Dimitriadis, he hasn't played too many games. Dean Spence, who everyone likes to see, our 5-star player. Again, I'm not going to go too far into his developmental page, but again, he's a week in, week out top performer. And as soon as we get him on the pitch, we come on the pitch. He has been rested in recent weeks because he's played a lot of games. But other ones to maybe take a look at is Joshua Moses. He's taken over Amoako on the right-hand wing. He's miles better. He's got a higher potential threshold. He's currently at 2.5 stars, so he's already gone past where Amoako went to, and he's got room to grow as well. One of our more pacey players. Again, 16 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists. What I like to see is when we've got average ratings that are in the green, of which we've got quite a few this season. So again, that's going good. Players who have maybe surprised and played more than we thought they maybe should have is Harley Purdy. He came through in the most recent youth intake. Defensive midfielder, can play centre-back. We're playing him in the holding midfielder role rather than a centre-back. And he's doing really well. He comes in and he does a job. 10 appearances, 4 on the sub, 1 goal. And what that enables us to do is when we get into the tactics page, our kind of standard is Peterson, Spence and Woodrow. They're our best 3 midfielders. But quite often we'll put Spence into the attacking role, Peterson into the deep line playmaker, and play Purdy as the holder, which does take Woodrow out a little bit, who's one of our more technical players. But I think it gives us a better balance in the middle of the park, and it gets Peterson and Spence, 2 of our highest scoring midfielders, further forward, which can only be a good thing. McAvoy's the last one we probably want to look at. The young centre half come through. He's starting to get more and more exposure as a first teamer. He has got the best current ability of all the defenders after Atienza, and he's got huge high potential threshold. So we'll keep giving him games, we'll keep exposing him and see how we get on. In terms of dynamics, it's not surprising to see that we're looking pretty good in there. We have got Josh Schaff, a midfielder who wants to leave, but he plays in the centre midfield, and we've got Wodrago, Purdy, Spence and Peterson, so he's probably not going to get too much of a game. Bit of a shame, he's got 4-star potential, but again, I can't see him getting too much game time in there. And then when you throw in the mix, we've got Stephen Williams in there. He's another player who can play centrally or more attacking. Again, he's had 4 appearances and scored 2 goals, so he's not too far off from being first team. And as mentioned in the comment section, we have got a Dumbaya, where he is, David Dumbaya, more of an attacking player, which we do occasionally play with an attacking midfield to give him some game time. Played 3 games, 1 goal, average of 7. So again, we need to get him some more exposure, and that might mean a change of formation to play with a more attacking midfielder. That kind of leaves us in terms of the development on how we get on that side. So dynamics good, tactics good. Staff all filled. We've not got the best in the league, but again, because we're not pro, we're probably limited in how many we can get. That limits our training page. We've not got as much training there as I would like. I'd like a bit more. In terms of the schedule, I mean, start of the season, we had a really good August, only lost 1 game. A really good September, didn't lose any. A bit of a wobble in October, a little bit of a wobble in November. But now we're in December, we've got a bit more of a good patch going. We're currently on a 6-game unbeaten run, won the last 2, and we've got a couple fixtures, 2 home, 2 away, to see us out to the end of December. So things are looking positive. Medical centre wise, I don't think we've got anything too bad in terms of massive injuries. Most people have come through them just resting more than anything. club info, facilities, they're still not giving it. We have got the new stadium now, so we're up to 6,500, wherever it is. Where's the 6,500? There we go, 6,659, 1,664 seated. So big stadium. Gate receipts have gone up. Club vision is all on track, apart from making the most of the set pieces, which I just can't seem to get particularly up on there. But we're doing an unbelievable job, and I think we were last touted as untouchable. And then in terms of the finances, last little bit to look at. Since getting the stadium in there, we have recovered. We've finally got back into the positive on a more consistent basis, and we'll just look to build that as the season moves on. Hopefully that serves as a massive update on where we are. What we'll do is we'll get into a game, show you how the team's playing, see them in action on the pitch, and then we'll end the episode and we'll kick on with the rest of the season. So stay tuned and we'll see how we go. Welcome back for the away game at Dorking. We are struggling a bit for fitness. We've had a huge number of games. December's always a busy period. We are resting quite a few players. So we've got Fredericks in goals, got Horney at left back, Bellingham at right back, which is pretty standard, although normally we'd have Cockings at left back. Got Elsley and Purdy in the middle, which would normally be Atienza and McAvoy, so that's quite a big change in the back four actually when you look at it as a whole. Got Spence playing deep line playmaker role as the unfittest player on the pitch. I mean, he needs a rest, but we're going to play him for this one. Got Williams coming in at centre midfielder. Dunbar, we've changed the formation to get him in as an attacking midfielder, give him a bit of game time. Dimitriadis comes in on the left. Moses will continue on the right and Hams up front. That's not our strongest team, but as anyone who knows who plays Football Manager, you hit these patches where you play your first team week in, week out, and eventually it catches up. So let's give them some good luck as we send them out on the pitch and see if we can get a positive result. It's going good. I'm still really enjoying the save. We've got a huge number of players that are quickly becoming favourites. I mean, I think Peterson, Spence, Atienza are my favourites in the core. Guild is a bit of a favourite as well. Stumbai gets free kick, and he's bent one in the top. So those in the comment section who said David Dunbar looks like a bit of a player, there you go. Left-footed free kick into the top corner. Give him some game time, he gets some goals. And again, once we're in a more comfortable position in terms of the squad as the players age a little bit, I think we're creeping into 22 years old for some of the players now. And when they hit kind of 25, 26, I think that's when we'll really start to hit our groove. Players will hit peak performance levels and their peak ability levels, and we'll get some really good results. That'll spark the formation change to play permanently with an attacking midfielder once we're a bit more dominant than the teams around us. Last season we really struggled and we were just about scraped through from relegation, but this season we're playing much better. The players have got a year under their belts, a bit more experience, and we're having a really good season. As Dunbar playing the ball around the edge of the box, Moses kicks it off his own player and out for a throw-in. Bit of a weird highlight, not quite sure what he was getting at, but Dunbar will get a chance to deliver a corner, and it goes. Good header, but unfortunately not on target. So far so good. 8 shots, 3 on target with a more dominant force. We've got 70% possession, which is the way we like to play. And things are going good. Let me know in the comment section where you think areas of weakness might be. If you've seen any players we're maybe leaving out that you think stats-wise we'd probably do is a little bit better, as Hams gets in on the action, gets a goal. Last of the Mohicans, he gets his name on the score sheet. He's the area of weakness I think there is in the team at the minute. He does score the odd goal, but he's not as prolific as I think we should have by now. I'd like to have thought he would have developed slightly better and would be getting on the score sheet a lot more. But again, every time he scores, I think it might be the start of a run. In he goes, good header, and that puts us 2-0 up half an hour into the game. For anyone who's curious, I did watch the Everton game the other night. It was a bit soul-destroying. It's getting harder and harder to be an Everton fan. It's 6-0. Forest this weekend, it's not looking good for Everton, if I'm honest. I think if Everton slip up this weekend, relegation could well be on the cards, because going to Luton at Kenilworth Road isn't going to be an easy task either. And if we somehow come out with 2 losses out of them 2 games, I think that's probably the nail in the coffin. But back to the game in hand, the Youth Intake Challenge, that is one bright light, I suppose, in my footballing calendar. Is we are actually doing pretty well as we concede a goal, but we're still 2-1 up. Initially saved by Fredericks, but the ball bounces out. They were first ones to it, and a good finish in the end. So Campbell hits it. Runham gets a chance, and Street just pokes in ahead of Fredericks to give him no chance, really. I think he would have saved Runham's header, but unfortunately, it doesn't always go your way. Tumbai having a great game in that attacking midfield role. In fact, Dimitri had this on the left-hand side as well, coming in for Gilder. Really strong performance, and he is unfortunate at times that Gilder's in that position ahead of him, because if Gilder hadn't been here or still had a broken leg, Dimitriadis would have been getting a lot more game time, as Horney commits a foul early into the second half. Dorking getting a bit more into the game now. Header just gone wide. We managed to get it behind, but that was a warning shot of what might be to come in this second half. I don't want to drop away from positive, really, because we're playing with the attacking midfielder. I think we're actually better off staying in attacking because it suits the number of positive roles we have on the pitch. And that being said, it was a bit of a ropey challenge as well, and Dorking have missed another one, so they've come out fighting early in the second half. Bellingham for Atienza. I don't want to do that. I'm going to save Atienza for a centre half if I need him. Horney and Peterson working the ball at the edge of the box, been given away. It's a 3-on-2. Hopefully he won't find his man in the box. He cuts it back to the edge of the area. Runham gets a chance, and we managed to scramble it away. Maybe we will drop down to balance. They've had a couple of warning shots as we play the ball out from the back as we approach the hour mark. Horney down to the left to Dimitriadis, and he's giving the ball away. We can't be giving it away that easy every time. I think we might have to make some tactical tweaks depending on what the outcome of this highlight is. Hopefully we won't get punished for it too heavily. Tipped past the post. I think what we'll probably do, if we go into the tactics, what do we do? Peterson's come on. Who have we got on the bench? Gilder, Cockings, Atienza. Let me see, he's not playing particularly well. Moses on the right. For Gilder with Dimitriadis. Dimitriadis can play on the right. Just to give a bit of fresh legs on the wing. Get Gilder on the front foot down that left-hand side. Purdy for Atienza. That's what I was saving it for. A centre-half. We've been massively dominant in this game, and it would be a shame if we didn't go on to win it. 17 shots on goal, 6 on target. We just we lost that 2-goal advantage, and unless we get it back, this game might end uncomfortably. As we get a penalty, Dimitriadis breaks into the box, this time playing on the right hand side. Who's going to step up and take it? Gilder drills it in the bottom corner. Came on as a substitute, gets to take the penalty, puts his name on the score sheet, restores the 2-goal lead, and it looks like Dulwich might be moving up the table slightly higher. And if we can keep this good form going and cement a playoff place earlier, I'm not sure we can make up 14 points. There is only one automatic spot. It's going to be very, very difficult to catch up at the top of the league, but we'll give it our best shot. We'll try, and we'll just keep trying. And I think we'll try and persevere with an attacking midfielder as well. I think if David Dunbar continues to play as well as he's playing, and we've got Williams who can also play in that more advanced role, it might be time to make that change from a 2 in the centre, 1 sitting deep, to 2 in the centre, 1 playing advanced. Do we go through that the whole season, or do we kind of save it defensively against the big teams and the ones we're expected to kind of compete with or win, go attacking? Because I certainly like it when we're a bit more of a goal threat. Dimitri just breaks down the right, but he's been cut out. We're into the final few minutes. I think this highlight will hopefully peter out to nothing if we can't win the ball back. I don't want them to get a goal and make it tense for the last couple of minutes. Fredericks safe hands. 4 minutes of injury time. We'll just see this one out. And another 3 points on board. 20 shots for the game, which is good. Peterson to the edge of the box, takes a deflection, and we'll get a corner to finish the game in the 94th minute. Dunbar will deliver it. He's had a great game, I think, in man and match performance. In it goes. Atienza Dunbar throws in again. Hams gets a chance, but we can't capitalise on it, and it ends 3-1. So massive result, huge win on camera for those watching. Dunbar highlighting himself to those watching that he might be a future star in the making. And thanks to those who put in the comment section to remind me he was there, because I had looked at him, but because we don't play that formation I'd kind of benched him to a degree. But let's get him some game time, see how we can develop him. So, and that's why I like the comments. There's always someone chipping in with something useful, and it's been a massive help. Currently sat 5th in the table then, 42 points, still 14 points off top with Harrogate. I think it was Harrogate, if we can see their schedule. Yeah, I mean, that start they had was absolutely phenomenal. Thankfully, they've lost a couple of games, but it looks like they're back on a good run again. So Harrogate are the team to beat. I don't know if they were favourites in terms of the preview. I mean, we're down at 50-1 down in 21st. Harrogate 8th, so they were relegated the season before. They're the ones to beat. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you like the update. Let me know who your favourite players are. Let me know if you think we'll make it into the playoffs or not. And until next time, enjoy your saves, have fun, take care, and I'll see you soon.